Alright guys, how's it going? So this is Mass Effect 1, and I'm going to be replaying it, well at least I hope so, from beginning to end. I have played the game before, but I didn't complete it. I think I got pretty close to the end of it, but I didn't actually complete the game, and I've no idea why I didn't continue on. I was probably playing something else at the same time and just decided, I'll come back to it. I also did that with Mass Effect 2. And I've done it with Mass Effect 3 as well. So hopefully I'm going to be replaying this whole series, not one after the other, but right now I'm going to be playing Mass Effect 1, mostly just to get a little bit of variety into the channel. The good thing about these is I'm going to be able to kick out, one of these per day if I need to or if I want to. So you can watch it or you can just leave it alone, that's entirely up to you.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested.
Right, so start a new career.
Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
Right. I mentioned this in one of the, I think it was the repopulation that I mentioned that I always play female characters when I can. Especially in a game like this, I would always play a female character.
Please log in to access your profile.
And I'm going to call myself Adored, of course.
Confirm pre-service history.
Right. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to roleplay this as myself, if that makes sense. Is that what most people do? I mean, is that what you do when you play these type of games? Yeah? I mean, obviously it's pretty heavily story-driven Mass Effect as well. And you are playing that role, but I generally tend to put my own personality into the character, even, when I'm playing a female. So you maybe learn one or two interesting things about my extremely flawed character. Now you've got pre-service history here, so you've got a choice of Spacer, Colonist or Earthborn. Let's see, Spacer. Both of your parents were in the Alliance military. Already I'm not very keen on that. I've never really been a big one on this whole military thing. It's kind of silly, yeah, because you're a clear military character in the game. However, not really for me. And you've got this bit at the end, following in your parents' footsteps. Nah, that's not me. Earthborn again. You were an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolises. Megatropoli? It's megatropolises, is that a word? Anyway, covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting in the Alliance military. Maybe. But what about Colonist? You were born and raised on Mindwar, a small border colony in the Attican Traverse. When you were 16, slavers raided Mindwar, slaughtering your family and friends. You were saved by a passing Alliance patrol and you enlisted with the military a few years later. This sounds more like me. This is a good way to seek revenge. Join the military and go shoot up some slavers. Colonist would definitely be me.
Confirm psychological profile.
Now, psychological profile, sole survivor, war hero or ruthless. Now let's see, ruthless. Throughout your military career you have been held fast to one basic rule, get the job done. You've been called cold, calculating and brutal. That's not really me, I've got to say. I'm a bit soft in actual fact. That doesn't mean that I can't be pretty ruthless when I have to be, but it's just very, very rare. I certainly wouldn't go and do this, as a matter of course. Not really me. Now, war hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers, defeat the enemy, despite impossible odds, your bravery and heroism, blah blah blah. Not really me, to be honest. Sole survivor, however, this is me, yeah, without any doubt. During your service, a mission you were on went horribly wrong. That just sounds like me straight away, yeah? Trapped in an extreme survival situation, you had to overcome physical torments and psychological stresses that would have broken most people. You survived while all those around you fell, and now you alone are left to tell the tale. So yeah, this is I could see myself doing this, yeah? The Scottish stubbornness would keep me alive while everybody else died around me, so I'm going to be a sole survivor.
Confirm military specialization.
Right, this is your classes, yeah, your character classes. You've got choice of 6, soldier, big gun, nice, you get the assault rifle, which is pretty nice, yeah, but soldier's a little bit one-dimensional for me. I tend to go with slightly more exotic things than, the bog standard soldier type thing, yeah. Engineers. Engineers are tech specialists. Using the holographic Omni tool, they can decrypt security systems, repair or modify technical equipment. They're pretty good, pretty versatile, the engineer. You can only use light armour and can only receive weapons training with pistols. Now the adept, this is like your magic user. Biotics. Biotic specialists. They can only use light armour and only receive weapon training with pistols. Adepts are extremely powerful in the first Mass Effect. However, they're a little bit of micromanagement that I can't really be bothered with. Infiltrator, this was a class that I played when the first time that I played Mass Effect a very, very long time ago. Pretty cool class, I really did enjoy it. You've got that tech stuff and you've got a sniper rifle, pretty good with that, yeah. But I'm not going to do that one again. Sentinel, interesting again, you combine biotics and tech abilities, so you really are, jack of all trades. However, you can only use light armour and get no advanced weapon training, so you are terrible. Even with pistols, you're awful. I'm not going to go with that one. That only leaves the Vanguard. Now, Vanguards are biotic warriors. They combine biotics and weapons to take down opponents, and are especially deadly at short range. They use pistols and shotguns and can specialise in medium armour. This is my type of playstyle. Up close, personal, in your face with a shotgun, and they've got that kind of magic support. I really enjoy this class. It's not awesome. It's not as awesome in the first one, but in 2 and 3, Mass Effect 2 and 3, Vanguard's a great, fun to play class. I'll probably be sticking with it all the way through.
Confirm facial identification.
I won't be sticking with her face though, so let's see. This could take a while in all honesty. Right, so what have we got here? An absolute beauty. However, this is in the character creation, and quite often you end up thinking you've got something really, really nice. And when you get it in game, it's more like a freak show. This one looks really good though. I think I've really nailed this, so well, let's just see. Yeah, she's got to be good looking, right?
Profile reconstruction complete.
Right, so profile reconstruction, my summary is: name of adored Shepard, my origin as a colonist, reputation of a sole survivor, and the Vanguard class.
Identification confirmed.
Now, I'm going to play at veteran level, which is the highest level I can play at right now. It's been years since I played it. However, normal's probably going to be a little bit too easy, so I'm going to go with veteran. We'll see how it goes, certainly. As far as levelling up goes, I'm just going to let my squad level themselves up, because it's a bit much, micromanagement to do it. We've got a target assist of low, normal and high. Another reason why I'm playing Mass Effect is because I've just got myself a new mouse, and I'm going to try and, get myself a bit more accurate with it. There's not an awful lot of combat in Mass Effect, or at least it's not like constant combat like your Call of Duty type things, yeah, your FPS. However, there's enough combat in it that it should help me get more accurate with my mouse. I'm going to go with the low target assist just to help me with that. I'm going to let my squad use their powers as much as they want for now. Subtitles on, autosave on as well. So here we go.
Well, what about Shepard? She grew up in the colonies.
She knows how tough life can be out there. Her parents were killed when slavers attacked Mindwar.
She saw her whole unit die on a cruise. She could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
Right, you can go ahead and read that. One thing I'm going to point out is that there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of NPC dialogue in Mass Effect, yeah? So you're not going to be hearing my dulcet tones all the time. I'm just going to be giving my input into how I feel about certain responses, that sort of thing, yeah? So just bear that in mind. There's Jupiter in the Great Red Spot.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot, acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. The board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
Right, so like I said, I'm going to be role-playing this as myself, so in situations like this I'm just going to go with the response that I would personally go with. Now, I actually tend to agree with Joker here. He's a little bit full of himself, but I do tend to agree that, only an idiot would believe the official story here. This other stuff, you're overreacting, cut the chatter, that's not really in my personality. I would probably go with you're overreacting before I said something like cut the chatter, yeah? I'm not the type of, really strict military type. In this case though, I'm just going to go with a simple, yeah, I agree with you, Joker.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
Now, once again, is he upset? That's a little bit weak. Yeah, I would never respond with something so weak. You made him mad? I wouldn't do that either. I would definitely just go with a sort of neutral response. This is basically my personality.
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
So on the right there you could see your Paragon +2. That's sort of like your good guy points. You get Renegade points as well. Just depends on how you answer these sort of questions and the situations you find yourself in. You're probably not going to see an awful lot of that because of my neutral character. But that's what that's for. It opens up more choices if you continue to, hammer one of those lines, or you can even hammer both of them. But I'm not going to be faking it just to get those points higher, yeah? Hopefully it won't be too boring for you. Now, like I said at the beginning, I have played the game before, however, it's been so long I basically can't remember hardly anything about it. So I'm just going to play this like it's my first ever game of it again. There will be some things I remember, of course, however, this should make it more interesting for all of us. So let's go give Captain Anderson a visit.
I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
He's a Spectre. They're always on a mission.
And we're getting dragged, right along with him.
Relax, Presley. You're gonna give yourself an ulcer.
Navigator Presley, what's he wanting to talk about?
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Right, yeah. I heard you arguing, Presley.
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
Right. Let's see if he'll give us a hint to what he's on about.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
Right, so let's ask him about the Turian Spectre.
You don't trust Nihilus.
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
So Presley just generally dislikes Turians.
Nihilus is no ordinary Turian.
You've got that right, Commander. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
So Presley is a little bit like Joker, yeah? He's not really buying the official story. Let's see what he's got to say about the captain.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, ma'am. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
And the stealth systems?
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper. Less chance of security leaks, too. Plus, there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
Right, so a cover?
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Right. He's obviously, onto something, but as a sort of superior officer, it's not really your job to make him feel more paranoid than he is. I'm just gonna say, I'll look into it and move on.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
Oh, you watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
Right, so we've got Corporal Jenkins and Dr. Chakwas. We'll talk to the doctor, I think.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Right. Jenkins seems a little bit enthusiastic, maybe not the smartest ever. The doctor's right.
Only a fool goes looking for a fight, Corporal.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
Right, now everybody seems to know a lot about these Spectres apart from me.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Right, now, I do personally think that that is dangerous. However, you can also tell how something like that might be required, or certainly at least it would come in very useful as well, yeah? So I wouldn't say that. Even if I believed it, I would not say something like that, and certainly not to a subordinate. Right, so there are no human Spectres?
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're always getting dropped into impossible situations, forced to survive unbeatable odds, just like you on a cruise.
Right, now, those are bad memories. That may well be true. However, it's not something I would ever, admit to. And show some respect, again, it's a little bit, it's not in my character, to sort of snap like that. So in a case like this, I would probably just ignore what he said there, not try to make too much about it. So let's ask about Nihilus himself.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
He really is enthusiastic, this one. Now let's ask him about Eden Prime. I heard him talking about that.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Yeah, so why are we going there?
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
Yeah, everybody else seems to have figured this one out already. I'm just gonna... yeah, you'll do fine, 'em.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself on a cruise. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
Again, I'm gonna choose the sort of neutral option.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not gonna screw this up.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Right, I'm probably late for my meeting now. This appears to be Nihilus in here.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
Damn, I really got her look right, didn't I?
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to. Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
Kinda getting at something. I'm just gonna go with the neutral option again. I wouldn't know, because I wouldn't.
I've never been there.
But you know of it. It's become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Right, now, is that a threat? That's a little bit kind of Mad Dog for me, yeah? Why are you asking? Kind of gives him, you know, the control, the power. So in something like this, my typical response would be, you know, can you get to your point?
If you've got something to say, just say it.
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the Commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
Now, in a situation like this, yeah, I'm gonna go with the kind of sarcastic option. That's pretty obvious.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
Right, now, you should have told me that's not a response I would generally choose here. He is like a superior officer, yeah? So that sounds a little bit whiny. But let's ask him why the secrecy.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir?
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Right, now let's ask about Protheans.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Yeah, so my initial reaction to this was, yeah, why did we tell the Council about it?
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Right, so, like hell he is? That's just a way too Mad Dog response for me. Again, taking the neutral. What's up?
What's going on, Captain?
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
Not many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. You showed a remarkable will to live, a particularly useful talent. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Right, even though I said earlier that I thought the Spectres are dangerous, it's clearly something, you know, the power of being one is something that I would definitely covet a lot. I would never say something like, do you support this captain in that case, because I'd be more concerned of him saying something like no. I would never refuse it. I would never even bluff about refusing something like that kind of power, yeah? I would be very interested in it. So let's find out why he put my name forward.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
So the next step?
Just tell me what I have to do.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees, galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
Clearly we do. Right, now, what about Eden Prime?
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Right, now let's see if we know anything more about this beacon before we go.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like the other Citadel members, surely.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
So that's enough information on it. Gonna get ready to go.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
Very peaceful, yeah?
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
Can we trust him? Yeah, well, we damn better hope so. And he can count on us. Yeah, and that's not anything I would be heard saying. So just a nice and simple neutral, let's get on with it.
Ready and able, sir.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
Right, so we've touched down on Eden Prime.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
Nihilus is away on his own, and we'll see how it goes in the next episode.